Steppin on the beach, the only place to read your emails and tweets. It's Wednesday, April 28th still. This is the No Dunks mailbag episode coming at you on the Athletic Podcast Network. I'm J.E. Skeets. That right there is Mr. What You Need to Know, Tass Mellis.
My fellow mailbaggers.
Hello. We got the bearded one, the Bassmaster, the top shot hot boy himself, Trey Kirby.
Hey-o.
Hey. Yo. The international man of mystery, always taking it to the max, Leigh Ellis.
Friends.
And last but not least, making the magic happen here, it's JD.
Hello.
There he is. Here we are. Shout out to the stream team joining us live right now on YouTube. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Before I forget, Tass, before we get into the questions, another great batch this week. Tomorrow night, Thursday night, join us all for a live NBA happy hour. Now, it's not even going to be a watch party tomorrow night. Not that it really ever is, but that's how we brand it, right? There's a TNT game on. We're sort of got our eyes on it, sort of watching it, sort of talking about a bunch of other things. But there's no TNT games tomorrow night. I was really confused for a second. The NFL draft is finally here, Trey. You've been waiting for it for weeks.
Yeah, it's crazy. I started listening to the Athletic Football Show not too long ago. There's a bunch of big quarterbacks coming up in the draft here. We're talking about 5 first-rounders. I started listening first week of April to this. So I'm thinking, all right, nice. I'm getting a little prepped here. They're going to be having the draft coming up on Thursday. That was literally 3 weeks ago. You talk about a long run up to the draft in the NBA. This is epic. I mean, they go like 100 rounds. It's 19 days long. You got to draft 100 different players for every single position, but I'm stoked. We've got a long-haired QB, Trevor Lawrence. He's looking great out there. Winningest in Clemson history, they say. But more important, there's a quarterback named Trey Lance. I think this guy's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Wow, Trey Lance. That's a quarterback's name. Yeah.
He spells it the right way, Trey.
Oh, good. Yeah, who's got better hair, though? Leigh Ellis or Trevor Lawrence? That's the real question. The better locks.
You still got a ways to go to catch him, Leigh, but I don't know. Maybe you could outthrow him as well. I don't know. Outgrow him and outthrow him.
Yes. So NBA happy hour. It's going to be straight up game night tomorrow night. We got to figure out when we want to start this thing because we're not waiting on a halftime for any game. So maybe we'll go a little bit earlier than normal. But make sure you subscribe to No Dunks on YouTube so you know when we're going live. But we're playing GeoGuessr again for sure. We got to fire that up. That's too much fun. Leigh, you got like a bunch of weird old F1 cards. I say we pop a pack live on the stream tomorrow, and maybe some Sporkle quizzes, and we'll figure out some other fun stuff. If you have a suggestion, something you'd want to see us do on the live stream, let us know. NBA happy hour tomorrow, Thursday night. Again, probably around, let's call it right now, 8 p.m. Eastern. But again, just subscribe to No Dunks on YouTube. Tasto, my man, again, awesome questions. The people coming through in flying colors here.
So it's going to be like a normal happy hour tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm just not going to. Well, the difference is I wanted to say that because I'm not going to brand it like No Dunks, NBA happy hour, watch party, Mavericks, Bucks, halftime, whatever. It's like straight up game night. I'm leaning into that, Task. The thumbnail might be a game. Sure. We're going crazy with this one. Yeah.
Usually we're doing some acting on Thursday, pretending that it's a happy hour, pretending that we're watching the game. That leads us to our first question. Hey, No Dunkos. Since we are still in cinema's awards season, here's my cue. If you could add an NBA award to the current ones, which one would you add or create? Drink Superboc, eat francesinha. Awesome. Love from Porto, Portugal. That's from Tomas on Twitter. So it's cinema season. We like to dramatize on Thursday. We pretend things. Let's add an NBA award to the current ones. Skeets, what do you got?
Yeah, I didn't get like silly with this. I actually thought about like what could be actual NBA awards that they could or should add. And I know we've talked about this in the past, so I'm sure I might be repeating some of our answers from years ago. But we have the 6th man of the year, and that's fine. Whatever. That's good. But I think we should have a team award for the best bench. I think that would be a fun one. I think there'd be like some great camaraderie there between guys like the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, even deeper if you want there, trying to like put on a great show and just be the best second unit, so to speak, the best bench team unit out there. I looked at like who's leading the league in scoring, as a team. Any guesses there, Leigh? Who's leading the league in points per game off the bench? I'm going to give you a hint. It's a crap team.
Oh, crap team. I was going to say Jazz. The Jazz would do it. Crap team, I'll say Minnesota.
You're close. Minnesota's second, right behind the Detroit Pistons. So I bring that up because I don't think a team like that should necessarily get the best bench award. I do think it should go to a team that, has maybe a little bit more success. Because in those cases, well, maybe your starters are just crap, and your 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th guy are just as good, and they're getting their burn and all that, and they're like playing from behind, a bunch of garbage minutes. So I think the Lakers would be in the running, in all honesty, for a best bench this year. I think the Grizzlies are right there. I think the Clippers actually are decent too. So I'm sure there's some other ones. I think the Jazz, you're right, Leigh, would still be sort of in the mix. Got a lot of great players, but best bench. And then finally, another one. How do you feel, Tass, about taking the Defensive Player of the Year award and like splitting it in two? One for the best defensive big man, and then one for like the best defensive perimeter player, wing, guard, whatever you want to call it. Like, I just find it so difficult, especially this year, to be comparing like Ben Simmons and what he does on the floor defensively to a guy like Rudy Gobert, what he does like in the interior. I mean, it's just like two completely different things. That's fine. That's part of the debate. I get it. Like, which one's more important? Who does more out there defensively? But I don't know. Why not just have two of them? And we'd still have debates about who's the best perimeter defender and then who's the best big inside. What do you think about that?
Yeah. And then it gets even more complicated. Like, Ben Simmons is a giant, but he guards 1 through 4. Not really 5. So I guess he's a perimeter guy. He is a perimeter guy. But yeah, this is the same debate every year. You hate the most improved player award. I'm not a big defensive player of the year guy because, you can look at stats and all that. But I agree. It is really like, who do you back? Who do you just like the most as a defensive player? I think what it comes down to, and your on-off numbers and a team that's doing well defensively. It's usually sort of like the MVP award. Got to be top 5 to have in terms of defense to pick somebody from. So yeah, I'm okay with doing that. I think where there's the dividing line though between the bigs and the littles when you talk defense,
Yeah, it's difficult. It's definitely blending together more and more. I guess I just look at it like, Ben Simmons is being tasked, Leigh, with the, hey, that guy's the best offensive player. And that is, in today's game, generally, a wing player, right? A perimeter player. And he is like, okay, slow him down. But you're not taking Rudy Gobert and putting him on Devin Booker, right? That's just not going to work. But he does, of course, really special, important things defensively. He's the backbone of a great defense. So I guess that's where I'm trying to draw the line. It's like,
so what
Rudy's
about
an interior defender.
Yeah.
For the most part, and then we have guys that are like tasked with shutting down the best perimeter player.
What about then most impactful defender and then most versatile defender? So then you can really break them up.
All right.
Well, I'll tell you.
I thought you were going to say break it in half and throw it in the garbage. We don't need to talk about defense, but I should have known that it was a little bit more anti-big man bias from J.E. Skeets, who wants no positions anywhere, no positions for all NBA, no positions for all-star games, but now we need positions for defensive player of the year because it's actually easy for a big man to win it because big man defense is the most important defense in basketball. Guarding the rim is the most important thing in basketball. 100%. The easiest shot in basketball is a layup. That's why you got to take them away. But if you want to get rid of the defensive player of the year award, I'm 100% for that.
Yeah, you hate defense. You don't play any of it. We know that. So,
that's right.
Even though you're ironically the big guy of the group. That's crazy. You would by default win the no dunks interior big man defensive player of the year.
Skeets, it's all about calling out the schemes, You don't have to be there, but you got to tell the other people where to be. I've learned that from a Brooke Lopez profile on The Athletic. His greatest defensive skill, it turns out, is touching guys as they run by him so he doesn't have to move. Great stuff. Just give him a little tippity tap.
Little bump. Get him off the route there. So those are my answers. What do you got, Ted?
I will say, though, just about the defensive player of the year before we move on, because we frickin' love defense here. The show's called No Dunks. No frickin' dunks allowed. I will say, I think it is based on narrative so much with the defensive player of the year. Like when Zach Lowe started writing about Marc Gasol being an impactful defender, and all of a sudden, boom, people started catching on that Marc Gasol is a very good defender. He wins Defensive Player of the Year. The fact that Doc Rivers has shoved it down our throats that Ben Simmons is the Defensive Player of the Year, I think is going to play a big factor in who wins this year. I think it is a large factor. Obviously, he's a great player, but Doc Rivers has a motive there. We know Joel Embiid's one of the most valuable players, and Ben Simmons has taken on a bit of a lesser role scoring-wise. So Doc Rivers' motivation is to try and big up his point guard, and that's what he's doing, whether or not he's the defensive player or not. I think the narrative, because the stats are always going to be murky, even if the big man is the most important thing. Like, yeah, defensive rim percentage, sure, that's important, but again, that's also like there's a lot of noise in that stat. There's just not. It's just not all that viable. Like Trey, yeah, if you're calling out guys, that doesn't show up in the stat sheet. If you're calling out J.E. Skeets for fighting over the pick or doing whatever, like that doesn't show up in the stat sheet. It never does. But I think that's why the narrative is really, really important. I think Ben Simmons could go a long way because Doc does a freaking good job of being the best cheerleading coach in the NBA.
He's really good at it. And look, that's a nice little tease there for everybody. The plan is to start handing out or filling out our awards ballots, I guess, so to speak, on this Friday's Drop podcast. We're going to sort of, beat a couple of the other podcasts maybe to the punch there, because you're going to start seeing a lot of these podcasts in a second. Like everybody starts like deciding the MVP, of course, and all the awards. So like, why not? We'll start doing that very likely on Friday's Drop podcast, where we can debate a little more about Ben Simmons or Rudy Gobert. Look,
Let's crush the
totally
algorithm.
fine with Rudy Gobert winning Defensive Player of the Year. I want everybody to know that. I'm just like answering the question here. I think I find it difficult to compare the two guys because of what they do defensively are completely different for the most part. I'm not even saying one is more important than the other. You can argue that, go nuts, but I don't know. Let's just get a wing guy out there too. Anybody else have another award they want to add though? Leigh, you got something?
Yeah, I've got one because I believe we are going to witness history this year, something that has never happened in the NBA before. And that is a guy who's going to average a triple-double for the season, won't even sniff all NBA, not even third team. Wow. Because Russell Westbrook is going to average a triple-double, but I don't think he makes any of those teams because these are my 4 locks for backcourt guards: Doncic, Lillard, Steph, and Kyrie. And then you've got Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Mitchell, whatever Kawhi Leonard is. I'm not sure what position he plays. And even Trae Young's there. And so I actually think Russell Westbrook will be the inaugural winner of the shit, man, that's pretty wild what you did. But unfortunately, there's no award for you this year because you've done this in the past. And I mean, it's true.
But Leigh, hold on, Leigh. He's done this. This will be his
4th
time out of 5 seasons where he's averaged a triple-double. Did he make All-NBA in all of those other ones?
Yes,
Okay.
He's like a 9-time All-NBA at some point. He missed out on All-NBA obviously last season.
Yeah, he didn't do the triple-double last year. Yeah.
No, but prior to that, yes, he was he was on. I've got it. I did have it here.
Okay. I'll take your word, man.
Yeah. I had my search up for Oscar Robertson just to make sure he made it, just to make sure they had it. Of course, he did back in the day. But I mean, like,
so you're calling it the shit man of the year? Is that what you said?
I'm calling it
presented by Paul Pierce every
I'm
season.
calling it the shit man. That's pretty wild what you did, but unfortunately, you're not going to win anything else award because I mean, he's not. He's not going to win Most Improved or MVP. There's no other award there for him, and it's crazy to think that a guy who averages a triple-double, again, won't even sniff it. I don't think he's even getting close to third team, if you ask me, because I think if anyone, probably Beal gets the nod of the Wizards, and there's simply just not enough spots there. Now, the question I sort of was asking myself was, imagine he never did it at OKC. Imagine he got close and he never did it, 7 rebounds, 10 assists, whatever. And he did it this year. Would it be like, well, you can't leave a guy off who averages a triple-double, would it be? I mean,
probably.
You count everything else.
All NBA. Yeah, maybe.
So it's pretty wild to think. And I know there's been some, people talking about it lately saying, we devalue, I guess, the currency of the triple-double, but I don't think we do. I think it's just like most things. Once people do it and they sort of, break that glass as far as like, oh, he's doing it all the time now, it just does lose its appeal, even though I think it's still incredible that he's able to do it. But it's just not as sexy because we've seen it so many times from him. Yeah. And now everyone gets a triple-double. I mean, Steven Adams had a triple-double this season. So there you go, man. Crazy.
So but you think the triple-double currency is right up there with Doge, Bitcoin, Ethereum?
I mean, man, there's so many coins out there these days. I don't know what to believe anymore.
Hold your triple-double coin, man. I'm telling you, don't let it go. I know you
want to get me some of these Shipman coins.
Yeah, get some, man. Get some while they're hot.
Shipman,
they're
what
always
you did
hot.
was pretty cool, but you're not going to win anything else award. I love it.
I can't wait for Adam Silver to say it. I wonder who's going to present that award. Who would be that? Who would be the guy who's done something? Actually, Westbrook did make third team last
year, despite not having the tripped up.
Yeah. Right. That's crazy. I wonder who's had the most successful season prior and has just come up empty.
I don't know. That's a great list. You should look into.
Best player not to win. I wonder. Dwayne Wade's season. maybe where he averaged 30 points, didn't win MVP. I don't think he won anything. Oh, I guess he was. Oh, you can't be an all-star. You can't be if you're a shit man.
No,
I
no.
don't think Dwayne Wade won anything at the end of the year that year.
Yeah.
Probably could have been all that.
I guess he had the scoring title, though, I suppose. That's something. I mean, Westbrook's just going to have nothing.
Just nothing. He's going to have a play-in game. That's all he's going to have.
Shit, man, that's tough.
Any other awards, Tass?
I'll throw one in. The biggest complainer award, and it could be associated with the stat. It could be the most texts of the year award. Like it could go to Dwight Howard, sticking with Philadelphia 76ers. And the good thing about the biggest complainer award is that it would disincentivize guys from complaining the following year because you have the award of being the biggest complainer. And I know Doc does some complaining about Dwight Howard having reputation texts every game, and that's how he gets them. It's pretty amazing. You can break down some stats too, because Dwight has, I think it's Dwight and Russell Westbrook. I think they're both tied at 14 or they're 13, 14, a couple more and they get suspended. But Dwight's impressive because he comes off the bench and he has as many techs as Russell Westbrook. So then you can do some stats. So you can get some dirty stats, tech per minute. Those kind of stats, most the guy who did it in the guy who won the award in the fewest amount of minutes, that would probably be Dwight Howard this year. Could go to Westbrook. I don't know.
How many does Luka have? He's up there with complaining a lot for sure. He's got a lot. He's like 13
or 14. Yeah. It comes up on the broadcast pretty often. Like he might be missing the automatic game here pretty soon. And usually I'm like, who cares? Honestly, who cares? Complain as much as you want, but it might actually matter for the Mavericks at this point with where they're at in the play-in tournament.
Yeah, we'll see. Trey, do you have any awards?
Michael Pina suggested Dunk of the Year at Sports Illustrated. I think that's interesting. They had it at the NBA Awards show, but I would like to expand it a little more. Call it the best highlight reel. Have some content creators pull together the best plays. Everybody gets one of their players. Somebody makes the best LeBron James highlights or the best Doncic highlights. Everybody votes on it. A guy I think might take it home this year would be Miles Bridges. He's maybe got the Dunk of the Year. He's got a couple of other ones who are in the mix, and he's had some other nice moments as well that aren't just strictly dunk moments. So, Dunk of the Year has existed. So just a little flip there to make it the highlight reel of the year.
Yeah, I like it. You talk about narrative. Didn't Stephen A. Smith, last week, go on a huge rant that Miles Bridges is the best dunker in the game now? He was really talking him up. I saw that clip making the rounds on Twitter. So that helps his case. And I think he might be right in terms of in-game dunkers. Bridges has an awesome highlight reel this year. Though, Jeff Green, sneaky good, as always.
Jeff Green's finishing top 5 in the best highlight reel of the year.
That could be the Jeff Green Award, actually, just that. Because he's
Jeff Green New Jersey Dunk of the Year.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay. All right, so those are our ideas. Let's hear from you guys. New NBA awards. Let us know. Our next one, Hey My Buddy Dunks. The Athletics Knicks podcast, Shattered, is a must listen. I'm looking forward to every Tuesday so I can keep hearing the dirt on how the Knicks fell from their height in the 90s. Last week, Shattered covered Isaiah Thomas's tenure as head coach, and oh boy, was he a coach. I lost it when I heard that Isaiah Thomas not only had a dress code, but he also had an honesty chair. The rule, you can't lie to anyone when Isaiah sits you in that chair, not even yourself. You had to tell the truth in that honesty chair. My question, though, what's the weirdest rule or policy you guys have come across during your 16-year career in the basketball talk biz? Turn up and vex them arms. Awesome. That's from Gabriel A. Leigh, what are some weird rules or policies? Maybe not even in our media career, but your entire basketball career.
Yeah, this is a very recent one, actually. Now, I know, the Top Shot Hot Boys. I'm not into it, all right? But it's fine. I don't hate it. It's fine. You guys are into it and you do a great job. I'll say that. And it's hot right now. It's fine. And I don't think you guys were doing this, but after you did your Top Shot Hot Boy the other day, and it happened last week as well, it's happened a couple of times, I get tagged on Twitter and all these like my stuff. You know,
Oh, you're in the echo chamber of like my showcase. You're a certified baller, are you?
And I'm getting tagged, and again, it happened just after you guys were on, and I thought, I wonder if they talked about it, and they said, yeah, tag everyone. Anyway, I don't think you did. I think it's more just this association of no dunks and
well, I'll tell you, Lee. Thanks for watching, by the way.
Yeah.
What happened was
after you completed your latest Top Shot Hot Boy, I was tagged.
I mean, I watch every single one of your VSPs, whether I'm in it or not.
They go for 3 minutes. They don't go for 3 hours.
Support. Thank you. On the last one, we were talking about whether or not Tass is secretly already a Top Shot hot boy. Like, is Tass doing a classic Mellis where he's like been lurking in the backgrounds, making some moves, has an account, we didn't know about it. But we were coming up with names. Trey is Top Shot Trey. I'm Showcase Skeets. We were like, well, what's Mellis? He's either just got to be straight up money Mellis, because that still works, or he's moment/Mome Mellis, Tass, which we thought you'd like because you had a lot of questions about Mome.
I love Mome's Mellis.
That's good. That's good. And then Lee, we came up with you. Your new nickname is Metallic Gold. Okay,
that's actually baller. I don't mind that.
It's a baller nickname because there's a set called MGLE, which is limited edition. The LE stands for, but we're calling you Metallic Gold. Anyway, that's where this came from. That's probably why you were getting tagged in these things, is my guess. Yeah.
Anyway, so the point is, I don't I don't block people on Twitter. I just don't. I mean, I've blocked a few dickheads over the years. Okay, we've got a few in the closet, but I mute or just ignore.
Sure.
But when people start just tagging me left and right in these NFT, like my stuff, bang, block immediately. I don't even want to with that.
Ruthless.
It's a new policy. It's a new policy because I'm just like, I'm not into it. But I'm not hating. Go for it if that's your thing. I'm out. I'm not getting in. And so if anyone wants me to like their stuff, it's not happening. You're getting blocked for life. No parole. So,
oh my God. Do not try and get your 20th like from Metallic Gold himself, MGLE.
No,
all right.
No. I'll say there's some good etiquette amongst these Top Shot Instagrammers. There's an Instagram account out there, NBA Top Shot _memes. I see Trey follows as well. Hit me up and said, hey, can I use your photo because I want to use it as a meme? That is proper etiquette.
That's nice. You should check.
Old school H/T hat tip. Give me asking me to use it. So I said, yeah, go ahead. That's totally fine.
Oh,
so,
the photo of you in your garage with your mattress set up. Yeah, that was very funny. With Bob there is facing it or his head.
Yeah, where I'm sitting right now. That's what was the meme? The meme was Bob, who's holding up my duvet/mattress, was my partner, and me sitting on the other side of the wall, the very soft, cushiony wall, is me spending all her money on Top Shot. Yeah.
Right.
Cool. Memes are 100 billion% lamer if you try and explain it. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We really should have showed
anything from the internet. Yeah, we should have. Yeah, wasn't ready for that.
Oh, memes,
Mellis. I beat you to it.
You got a faster connection today, my friend.
Memes/Momes Mellis. All right. Does anyone else have an answer to this, Tass or Trey? You got an answer?
Here's a weird NBA rule that happened. There were tie-on headbands for one season and one season only. Remember that?
Yeah.
Tie-on headbands, they got banned. Yeah. It ended up leading to a great Woj tweet where he tweeted the NBA notified teams that it won't be allowing players to wear ninja-style headwear this season. The headwear hasn't been through the league approval process. Teams have raised concerns regarding safety and consistency of size and length. At the time, it seemed like, okay, they're just doing this to get some NBA branding on it, maybe throw some Nike branding on it, then they'll bring them back. I mean, WNBA players have been wearing tie-on headbands probably since the WNBA started. Obviously, there are a lot of long-haired players in the NBA, so it definitely felt like they would be coming back at some point, but nope. The only thing we've seen is like a slightly stretchier headband, maybe more like a tennis headband material, but I thought they would be back at some point, but I guess we're just done. It was just one season. There was a bunch of guys wearing tie-on headbands, and then we'll never see them again.
Yeah, because we thought that was code for, hey, just wait until Nike or the NBA can actually slap our brands on these and we can sell these. That's what we thought the sort of pause was for. But then, that never really came back legally, I guess. Yeah, it's a weird one.
Yeah, they look great.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
that was cool.
I think they look awesome. So I I've talked about my old high school basketball coach, Mr. Nye, may he rest in peace, before. Just an old school Lee Ellis fundamental like guy, right? Like we just had to do everything by the book. So I was thinking about this, like weird rules or policies that maybe he had. So I texted my buddy Grish and my buddy Dub, who played on the same team with Mr. Nye as the coach. And this is what they said. I remembered this one. It was always fake a pass, make a pass. That was a rule we had. You had to fake a pass before you actually pass the ball to someone else.
What?
Yeah, it always said fake a pass, make a pass. Always.
Oh.
So,
Always,
fundamental, man.
Always.
Yeah, always. I'm exaggerating, but he always said it. I mean, sure, we did it without doing it all the time. But the other ones from Grish and Dub were, and I do remember them after they said these. No 1 foot layups. You had to do a 2 foot jump stop every time inside. Again, super fundamental. That's what he wanted. None of this fancy 1 foot layup stuff, which is hilarious.
No 1 foot layups. I bet he would hate it if you scooped it up. I know you're finishing overhand at the rim.
No, you had to, overhand, kiss it off the corner. 100%. Also, though, don't shoot with your left hand. Jerry West never did.
Come on.
Wow.
It was a rule. It's a policy, Mr. Nye.
I think it sounds like he was a hockey head, and they just said, you got to coach the basketball team as well. And he's like, all right, I'm just going to, I don't know, because that sounds weird to me to be like,
hey, man.
Well, I mean, Mr. Nye is a science guy, so obviously he wants everything done by the book.
That's right. And then the final one that Dub, again, texted to me this morning, a Mr. Nye policy was eat your yogurt after practice.
That's disgusting.
I hate yogurt to begin with. So I always
After running around, nobody wants dairy.
Well, post-game yogurt.
Science can't say that's a good idea.
Yeah. So those were Mr. Nye's.
Hey, Smits, get in here. Get a quick dip of this yogurt.
Hey, stop! Hey, make sure you start faking a pass before you pass it back to the point guard next time. Oh man, any rules or policies for you, Tassie?
Yeah, my coaches always used to say, "Chug this milk after practice." Hey, Smits, get over here. Suck back this bottle of milk. Actually, he was ahead of his time. You know, Clay Thompson's drinking milk after
man.
chocolate milk.
Yeah.
Actually, you mentioned Jerry West. That made me think of. I'm listening to Death at the Wing podcast about 70s and the 80s about basketball, tying it into the political picture. And Jerry West, very open, one of the first athletes to talk about in the basketball world about his mental struggles. I think Isaiah Thomas, in the question here that was brought up in from the Shattered podcast, he had the truth chair. I think Isaiah was a bit ahead of his time. Like, it would have helped guys, not necessarily to tell everything in the book that they've ever done or anything, but like to just to be on the psychiatrist chair a little bit. It's not a bad idea. Somebody should bring that back.
Bring it back.
But Shattered's a great listen. Gotta say that.
We were talking about it. Was that on today's podcast that I was mentioning? Yeah, that article that Mike Workenoff wrote for The Athletic too about the Sopranos coming together to recruit LeBron. It is good. Go check out Shattered on the Athletic app there for sure.
Okay, quick rule that I guess I may be new in the NBA, but I guess I had forgot about. If a team is down to 5 players because the rest of the players foul out, which could have happened this year with guys in the COVID protocol shooting up 8 guys sometimes, the other 5 players can't foul out.
Yeah,
you can get a billion fouls. Now, if you get a 6th foul and then a 7th foul, there's a tech that's assigned to your team every time there's a foul, but you can't leave the floor. I didn't realize that.
That happened, didn't it? Like that Chris Kaman game where he's lying on the bench. I think that happened in that game.
Did it?
Yeah.
I know the moment you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was something like that. A team was so short-handed, guys were injured, and he had to check back into the game because the guy who fouled out was out and he couldn't come back in. But I guess Kaman hadn't fouled out, so he got to come back in anyway. I don't know, but something
come
like
in,
that,
Kaman.
Yeah,
you're not fouled up.
Hey, here's your yogurt. Get in there.
No, I can't come back in.
You can't play 4 players.
Yeah.
You're always.
What if Kaman had his yogurt and milk? Can he still play?
Well, what happened? I guess you technically could play 4
yogurt.
players if there's injuries, right? I mean, if a guy is injured, then he's injured. Like, what do they do in that case?
Yeah, you would think that they would forfeit if a guy's like
Forfeit?
physically.
Wow.
Well, if he can't, I mean, if it's dangerous for him to go back out and play.
So you don't think they'd even allow you to play with 4 players at that point?
I don't think so. I used to love that, though, sometimes when we would only have 4.
Oh, yeah. It happened every once in a while. Yeah. Sometimes it's great.
Oh, it is. Yeah. You don't have to worry about getting, subbed out. And you basically everyone could just keep on shooting because you have to. So it was kind of fun every now and again.
And you just play zone defense.
Yeah.
It's not like the other team's that great that they're going to kill you.
Yeah, exactly.
They're probably going to be worse because they're just shooting from the outside. Yeah. All right.
Next one here. Crazy no dunks tying in this next one. What's up, guys? My cousin recently got a new dog named Stella, who I keep accidentally wanting to call Luna.
Oh.
It's hard to explain. Skeet just ahs every time he hears his dog.
That's very nice.
It's hard to explain that I'm confusing his dog, Skeet's dog, with the dog of a podcast host I listen to. You know what I'm saying here. What are some things that you often mix up or confuse for random or hard to explain reasons? Turn up Love Your Ties, Lawson. Oh, that's a good one. That's from Graham in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, nice tag there. I'll go first here because longtime listeners of the show know that I tend to mash up words or usually like idioms or sayings into one. I still do it. I think I do it less than I used to because I used to do it a lot. We called them Skeetsisms. Just like to give you an idea, like he went a little over the end, which is like a combo of he went over the top and went off the deep end. Right. So he went a little over the end. That's not a saying, but I'm taking 2 and I'm mashing them together. I've done like hundreds of these, although I can never remember them. Like when I try and answer them, I'm literally like, I can never remember them. Another one, though, I asked Matt, I was like, because he always would point them out. He said, yeah, one used to do, you called someone who is alert and like prepared on the spot, which was a combo of on the ball and they were spot on.
On the spot. That's good.
Right. And so that's the thing. My Skeetsism's like, you step back, they sort of like, oh, that does make sense, but it doesn't because it's not a saying. It's just like I'm jamming 2 of them together. So that's mine. I actually checked Twitter for hashtag Skeetsism, which used to be like a thing like in 2010. Like there were people tweeting about it. And apparently Carlos Boozer on TV once said compoised, which was composure and poised, which I really, really like that one.
Not a bad one.
Like, that's actually
that's good.
Good one. So yeah, that's my answer for this. A classic Skeetsism. So if you remember a good one I've said over the years, let me know. Does the Pope shit in the woods? Stuff like that.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, English is fluid. You're from Stratford. You're the new Shakespeare, man. You're just coming up with new
I've come up with some.
new
Again, I
sayings.
can never remember them, but there are definitely been some where it's like, hey, that's even better. That's better than the 2 sayings. Just jam them together. It still makes sense. But
You're like Yogi Berra. That guy was always saying weird stuff, but people wrote it down and remembered, and he's famous for his weird sayings. Maybe it'll be just like you. I dropped this in our Slack channel. There was a Skeetsism video once upon a time.
Okay.
A decade back in the Carlos Boozer composed era, I would have to say. I don't know. I feel like it was either in your guys' 500th show or maybe a 5-year anniversary. So maybe it exists somewhere out there. If you've happened to see it, if you've got the clip somewhere, shoot it to us. We'll put that certified classic up.
Okay. Yogurt Barrow, somebody said. Yeah, Canadian guy. Fucking relax. I didn't say I came up with that one, you silly goose. Jesus, Murphy.
Silly Canadian
Holy
goose.
crap. I liked it when you weren't here, Canadian guy. I saw you just came back not too long. All right. Any other answers to this one?
Yeah, I'll jump in. I always get slugs and thugs confused. That's a John Beeline joke.
Nice.
He's a real Mr. Nye, real old school guy, maybe a little too old school. I myself would get a couple things confused when I manned the front counter of Danielle's milk and cookie shop that she had back in Toronto. I always thought this cookie, when people would come in, they would ask, do you have any savory cookies, anything salty? I would say the toffee bit, which is sweeter than anything. but it looks, I guess because it had these large sort of lava looking goldy spots. I don't know. It looked salty to me, I guess. I'd have to correct myself. Or maybe it's because I think of salty toffee. Yeah. I don't know. But I'd get whipped. I'd get whipped from the back by Danielle. That is not savory. It's sweet. So I'd have to rectify that real quick. Yeah, I just remember that. That's I'm traumatized, obviously.
Yeah.
I'd like to get on the therapist chair in Isaiah Thomas's locker room and talk about that.
Be honest with yourself. You meant to say cowgirl cookie, didn't you?
Nice.
Well, that was a good cookie.
That was a savory one. Little savory. Had some pretzels in it.
I should have said cowgirl.
Push the cowgirl. Leigh, do you have an answer for this?
Only, I guess, when I went back to Australia for the first time in like 10 years, nearly 2 years ago now, we drive on the left-hand side of the road, but the steering wheel is on the right-hand side of the road. And obviously here in the US, we drive on the right-hand side of the road with the steering wheel on the left-hand side of the road. And a few people said to me, like, are you going to get confused driving back in Australia? I'm like, nah, driven in Australia, grew up in Australia, drove in Australia, it'd be fine. Sure enough, a couple of times I found myself just going down the wrong side of the road before I had to quickly turn back around. And I thought, okay, because it happened the first couple of days, and I thought, I'll shake this off. It didn't happen like that. It kept a couple of times. I just was like, oh, shit, hang on a minute. I'm going to get back over the other side of the road. So something that I just thought, nah, won't happen to me. Absolutely happened to me. And then when I got back here, it was, again, another just a little adjustment because it was 5 weeks in Australia. So I sort of had, recalibrated my brain, and then I had to recalibrate it back this way. So,
No accidents, though.
No. But, a few choice words with the young children in the car, which I wish I didn't say. But, they hear those from time to time anyway. So
you're telling me you're going to be taking home the shit, man. You're driving on the wrong side of the road and you're going to get a ticket award.
Yeah, well, that's the thing as well. Like, you have to remember, like in Atlanta, for example, I think actually in America, people get away with speeding a lot. But in Australia, the cops are just everywhere and they're hiding. And they're like, you go like 6 kilometers over the limit and someone's out there to pounce on you. So you just have to be a little bit more careful, I think, on the roads out there in Australia.
Here you're almost allowed a certain amount over.
Yeah, a generous amount over.
Yeah, what do you go? 10? You feel good over 10?
Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, on the freeway,
I'm saying more.
I've had people just fly by me on the freeway.
Of course, speeding.
Yeah, but in Australia, there's just way more undercover police and traffic cops out there. Like, you'd be nervous to go that as fast as people go over here. So yeah, I just think it's.
But let's answer the question, man. What are you doing over here in America? What do you feel good about? Okay, if it's 65 on the freeway.
So I think it's 55 on the 75 here. I'll crank that baby up to 80 when the traffic's doing 80. I'm like, that's fine. Everyone's doing 80. Yeah.
Go with the flow.
Yeah. Right. But just got to wait because the thing was, I had to pick up my Australian license again in Australia too.
Oh, you did? Wow.
Yeah, because it expired while I was over here, and they won't renew it unless you're back there in person. So I had to go back, and luckily, Dad still got like some receipt or something of my house address there because you need to have a proof of address. So I snuck in and got the Australian.
But you didn't need
license.
to take the test again, did you?
No.
Okay.
No. They renew it for free, but you just don't have a legal license if it expires and you're not in the country.
Okay. The only questions they ask you are, 1, what side do we drive on here? And 2, how fast are you going to go over this? Well, that's because there are a lot of undercover cops here.
Yeah. The other thing was, just before we went to Australia, I was driving in Spain where there was like people. It's like a freeway. It's like a racetrack out there. And we were hammering along out there doing like 160, 170 in this Mercedes Benz because it was a brand new car.
No,
I mean, that's the thing.
What are you, Lewis Hamilton?
This car, it just is so smooth, and there wasn't much traffic on the highways out there. And it was like, oh my God, I was just flying along, doing way too fast, but it didn't feel like it because it was just so responsive. So I got fined, but anyway. Yeah, I got a fine in the mail when we got back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But they basically said, listen, pay it now, 50% in full. Otherwise, we tell every rental car company in Europe you're on a blacklist and they won't rent your car. So it was only like $40 or something in the end. But
quite the threat, though, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it was one of those ones you're like, do you think they really would? And then you thought, you may as well, just in case. You never know. So for $40, it's worth it.
Look at this baller renting a Mercedes Benz to drive around Spain.
No, that's like the standard though as well. There, it wasn't like it was top of the range. It was just like Mercedes Benz, like 700 kilometers. Like yeah, Ferrari chassis.
Cool. All right. Trey, do you have an answer for this one?
Oh, yeah. I had a little mix-up earlier today, Skeets. I said Mike Dunleavy had a run for the cube pronunciation from back in the day, but I botched it. Lucky for us, Matteo was listening, and he sent in the real deal coach pronunciation. Go ahead and take a listen.
Like a deal man. Right. A deal man.
Just your classic Dunleavy and Adelman mix-up. Both Blazers coaches from the 1990s, but I was definitely thinking of a deal man and not Dunleavy.
Yeah.
There is a Mike Dunleavy one out there too, but we were definitely more of a dealman kind of guys back in the day.
I sometimes listen to those and I hear Matt Austin's voice doing it.
For sure. It could be him. It could be
know.
him the whole time.
That would be wild if that was actually him. That's where he's just making all his money off these run for the cube weird pronunciation videos. That's why he's just chilling right now. All right. Next email here. Hi, Nautical Dumps. We throw the term journeyman around a lot, but we don't have rules in place to figure out the fringe cases. Is Danny Green a journeyman? Jared Dudley has played for fewer teams than Rajon Rondo. But is Rondo really a journeyman? What's the journeyman criteria? That is from @CourtQueenCoco on Twitter. Tass, it's a decent question. What constitutes a journeyman to you?
Wow, it is difficult to really define what a journeyman is. Now, I got a couple of rules, though. I'll start by saying no all-star appearances allowed. It's not allowed. You can, if you make an all-star team, you're too good, I think.
Okay.
Then the next rule, at least 5 teams. Okay, just simple rules. As simple as that. Then I struggle with, like, there's guys that, don't really last too long in the NBA, but may hit 5 teams. Are they a journeyman? I guess. Like, they could last 3 years, but bounce around. Yeah, it's hard. So there's got to be a minimum of years. I think probably like 8 years in the league is fine.
Okay.
But guys like that are some of the best ever journeymen are probably guys like Mike Miller to me, who are phenomenal guys. Now he won an award. He's a rookie of the year, but I'm allowing award winners.
He was 6-man too, wasn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So to me, Rajon Rondo doesn't make it, or he can't be a journeyman. He's just too good. Now, he was an all-star with the Boston Celtics. You could say, well, he was just an all-star because he played with great players, but it's circumstantial. Okay. That's just the way it's going to go. We got to draw a line somewhere. And so guys like, you think of all journeyman players, you think probably like Jim Jackson or guys who played with every team. Nate Robinson is a really good modern day one to me. Juwan Howard, Sean Livingston, I think would make the cut. He bounced around a ton. But I'm bringing up these guys because they contributed to their teams. Like they were really good. Mike Miller, a great one, again, helped the Miami Heat win championships. So to me, I think it's 5 teams, at least 8 years in the league, no all-star appearances. And let me go back to the 5 teams. I think it's just 5 changing of the jerseys, because Mike Miller had to go back to Memphis a couple times. He went to back to Miami too. I don't know. He went back to a couple teams. I think that classifies as a new team. So I think if you change your jersey 5 times, you're a journeyman, and you last 8 years. I don't know. That's my line. That's kind of hard to draw this imaginary line, but that's where I'm going with it.
I don't mind it. I think you're sort of you're on the right track there. Leigh, can you name all of Mike Miller's teams?
Well, Orlando.
Yep.
Memphis.
Yep.
Minnesota.
That's correct. There's a tough one. There's one tough one in there, I think.
Washington.
Right now. What's that?
Washington.
Yeah, wow. Nice play.
Yeah.
Played 1 year there. I don't really remember that all that much.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
Part of the
Or even
Rubio
higher.
trade, I think, right?
Yeah.
How many more have I got there? With
You got a couple more teams left. 3 more teams, and he already went back to Memphis for 1 more year, like Cass alluded to. But you've got 3 more teams.
Miami. Did he go to Miami?
Of course.
Yeah,
he won titles, right?
Yeah. With the shoe off
And then
and
2 more teams.
Where do you retire, Lee?
Yeah, and you're missing 1 team too. And he played with a buddy, I believe, of course.
Yes. He won a title with a buddy and stayed.
Oh,
with
they
that
won the
buddy.
title that year. Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Yeah. Right.
No, they didn't win the title, but he stayed with that buddy.
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
There you go.
Yes.
Cleveland.
Okay. He didn't win a title in Cleveland. That's what was the confusion. And then he finished. Yep.
A guy he played with.
Denver?
In Cleveland, Denver. Yeah.
Wow.
Denver. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice one.
And you're right. 2-time NBA champ, 6th man of the year, and of course, rookie of the year too.
Yeah, he was a good fantasy player too back in the day, Mike Miller, because he would fire up those threes, get some rebounds, get some assists, get a couple of steals. I just just connect him. You can connect a lot of players back to your fantasy runs, and he was decent because he was like about a 5th round guy as well, and it's like not a bad pickup at that point.
Oh, 5th round in your fantasy league.
Yeah.
It's not the NFL draft here. You didn't get drafted by the Broncos or something.
Is Mike Miller too good to be a journeyman player?
No,
No, I don't think so. I think
pretty
apart
good.
from your
Yeah, he is
all-star
pretty good.
criteria, I think you can still be a journeyman as an all-star player because
So
I
Vince
think-
Carter's a journeyman?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because at the end of it, he was just bouncing around for wherever people would pay him, and wherever he would
Different,
play.
yeah. But
Especially
then
when you
that's
went-
different portions of your career. Like he
Yeah.
wasn't a journeyman when he won or he got the leading all-star vote getter 4 or 5 years.
No, but he became a journeyman because
Yeah.
Memphis, Dallas, Sacramento, Atlanta. Once you're just like, all right, I'll play for the Kings. Yeah, okay, Hawks, sure. Who cares? I just want to keep playing. Like then you're a journeyman, and he was still contributing. Like Danny Green is classic journeyman because very good player there with the Spurs, important player. But then he just started bouncing around, to the Raptors, to the Lakers, to the Sixers, and he got traded to the Thunder. That doesn't count, of course, but it basically you get to that point where it's like, who wants him? But then Danny Green still contributes right now, which is good. So
yeah, 5 teams. He's reached the 5-team threshold. I'm okay
Cleveland,
with
San Antonio,
that. Toronto, Lakers, Philly.
It's only 5 for Danny Green. It feels like a few more.
Yeah, that's why him and Rondo are similar because Rajon Rondo has played for 8 frickin' teams in the league, but you wouldn't have thought that because of the way if you just look at the way he started his career, starting with one team for 9 years, you wouldn't think he would bounce around to 8 teams. Danny Green's kind of similar. He spent 8 years in San Antonio, but single seasons in Cleveland, the Lakers, Raps, and Philly. So yeah. I did the deep dive into the journeyman criteria. Some people are saying if you spend an average of 3 seasons or less on a team, that's when you're a journeyman. But that's getting a little too mathematical. I think. This Deso Palancia brings up a good point. Should be a player you can't associate with a single team.
That helps. That helps for sure. I like that.
That's good. It's tough though. Like Mike Miller. Do you have a team? Probably. I mean, Heat, yeah, but
Mike Miller, I think Grizzlies immediately, or I do think Heat. Yeah, those are the 2 that come up. So sort of fits to that criteria there.
Yeah.
And then Vince, for us, obviously Raptors fans, I think even most people would still immediately think the Raptors for Vince Carter, right?
I would think so.
I guess Nets probably in play too.
Dwight Howard's another good one because obviously he spent heavy years there in Orlando, but since then, he just bounced around all over the place. So. I think he meets that criteria now. He didn't for a while, but I think
Hundo P.
Okay, next one. Hondo. All right. Hey, fellas, it's odd to me how in between. Let me start that again. Hey, fellas, it's odd to me how in between free throws, one of the players will get the ball from the official, hold it briefly, and give it back. What's something that you routinely check for no real reason? Burn Up, Brent G., Worcester, Massachusetts. What do you got, Trey? I there is a reason why the ref does grab the ball in between. Subs.
To reset.
Sure.
Yeah.
Reset the everybody. Hey, you want to come join the free throw line? You want to do that? Okay. But mostly I think it's for, subs, making sure everybody's got their chewing gum. It's kind of pointless. I get it. But I guess there's a reason for it. Anyway, what's something you routinely check for no real reason?
I'm a nighttime locked door obsessive. Oh, baby. 3-point process for me. Got to make sure the upstairs door is locked, of course. Got to make sure the dog has gone out, come back in, and is upstairs. And then there's that front door. That's the big one. I don't know how many times I check that thing, see that it's locked, come back, brush my teeth, get all ready for bed, get in bed and be like, did I leave the door unlocked?
Oh, God.
I'm going to have to go up and check it again. That's so stupid, though, because I literally in the past month, I realized if you checked it once, it's locked. There's no way I would check it and leave it unlocked, right? So for me now, it's become realizing you already did the thing you're trying to pull off here and you forgot that you did it, which, it's late at night that I'm locking my door, of course. So there are extenuating circumstances why I may forget it, but Yeah, as soon as once it clicked for me that if I've checked it once, that's all I need to do. That really alleviated some stress for me, because oh my goodness, there would be multiple times I'd be like, was that thing pointing upwards? Was that thing pointing upwards, or was it sideways? It better be upwards. I've listened to too many true crime podcasts to leave it sideways. So it's all good though, because now I just realize, hey, if you looked once, that's good enough. You probably did it. I guess I'll risk it at this point.
Are you a house that always generally has the door locked? Like even during the day?
Downstairs, front door locked generally during the day. Yeah. Upstairs, not so much. Only because we just don't want the kids running out of the house and not knowing.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. I guess less and less now we're in our new house. But I think when we lived in the apartment, for sure, it was more of a keep it locked all the time. But you're right. You always forget.
Yeah.
For me, I guess it's similar to you. I got it from my daddy, where I just go and check and look out the window, front window, check on the street. How's it going out there?
Looking good.
Everything all right? Everybody okay out there? What are you guys doing out there? You gotta go.
Take a cup of coffee out with you. So you.
No. I don't even go outside half the time. I just peer out the window. My dad did it all the time. He used to drive me insane as a kid. What are you looking at? Nothing's going on out there. Absolutely. We actually lived across from the hospital. So it's not like there's like even other houses across the street. There was like a big empty yard and stuff like that, like a parking lot, and then the hospital. I'm like, what are you looking at? But here I am, getting older, doing what he did. Just checking out the neighborhood. Just a glance. See
Street's looking good.
Yeah, just neighborhood watch, I guess. I don't know. I guess that's what he was doing the whole time, making sure everything's in order. And it is.
There's likely something more interesting happening going on outside, even though there's nothing happening outside than it is in your house. Like there's a better chance. Anyways,
yeah, for sure. Oh, there's a truck down there. Oh, what are they doing down there? They got some sod. What are they dropping off? I didn't know they needed some mulch. They should have talked to me. I would have went half see with them. Yeah. No. I live on the end of a dead end, and I'm amazed how much activity goes on down here. So, but I'm always looking, just keeping an eye out there. It's great.
What's your favorite part of the house? Oh, the front windows. A lot of stuff happening outside.
I just feel like an animal. Like I feel like a dog or a cat is always looking outside, and that's basically what I do. That's what my dad did. And that's what I do. That's all right.
It's tough for you now when we're recording the podcast, and you know that if you just look over your right shoulder, man. That's that street there. Right there.
It's very difficult out there because for lighting purposes here, it helps to close the blinds when we're doing these shows too. So if I could just keep the window or the blind open, it'd be a lot easier to like take a little glance. But yeah, I don't know what's going on out there.
It could be anything.
Like Armageddon out there for all I know. Yeah,
you're here podcasting.
Yeah, that's right. Anybody else have an answer for this one?
I would say more car talk here too. Since we moved to Atlanta, I have driven over so many screws and nails and punctured my tires probably 25 times in the last 8 years. Like it's happened so many times. Yeah, it's incredible. Like the amount of times I've had to get my car up to the Bridgestone up the road. Yeah, I did it again, man. I don't even know where these screws are. And the guy's like, all right, leave it here. We'll take care of it. And a couple of times it's happened like where I've driven over it, hadn't even realized. And then the next morning when I've had to take like Sebastian to school or something, and it's like, oh God, punctured again. I'm like, where the hell am I? Where am I driving to get all these things? So now every single morning when I go out, I check both cars. I just look to make sure there's no punctures in the tires. And a few weeks ago, we were outside playing, and one of the tires on our car just caught my eye. And I looked and I thought, oh my God, there's a screw in the back, stuck in there like that. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. But the tire was fully inflated. So I went over and I started jiggling. And I'm like, and then I started hearing the hissing sound of like, and I'm like,
believe it.
I'm like, I think I'm better off there. Yeah, leaving it in and driving to the shop and just doing this same old thing. Like, yeah, it's me again. And guess what? I bet you know why I'm here. Is that one of our tires? Yep. Well, it's under warranty if we can repair it. I know. We have the same conversation every time. Where'd you drive recently? I didn't drive anywhere different. I just drove in the same spot. I don't know what people are just planting these screws. And
no, you have an enemy is what's going on here. Maybe stop blocking people on Twitter because they're trying to show your their Top Shot showcase, dude. That's all they want. A like. It takes you 1 second.
Oh my God. Yeah. So anyway, that's cost me a lot of money over the years because it's in a certain spot they can't repair the puncture either. They have to give you a new tire and you have to buy that tire. That's what they say to me anyway. So it's
the tire shop doing this.
It could be a scam. They're like, yeah, there's that guy. Yeah, just throw a few screws. We know where he
a scam in
drives.
Stratford. There was a bike shop that was notorious at just stealing back your bike. You buy a bike from them, they just steal your bike.
What?
Yeah, for real. That was a big deal.
So if you walked in there and you said, "Hey, you just sold that to me like 2 weeks ago,"
100%.
They wouldn't
was
just say,
happening.
"Wow, we didn't steal it." Oh god.
Yeah, that was happening. You would buy a bike, and then a couple weeks later, that bike's stolen. You're all pissed. Eventually, like you're back in there, and you're like, "Jesus, that was my bike." You got smart at like marking it up, making a specific like note. Yeah, real thing. Stratford, man, tough streets out there.
That's what your dad was
Stratford,
looking
you gotta fake a pass, make a pass, make a bike, take a bike. That's right. Everything's rhyming around here.
Your dad was out there looking for who's playing that scam.
My dad was always looking out the window.
Yeah.
My bike was being stolen. I never thought of that. My bike got stolen from the back of my house once. That was a real kicker. Oh man,
Wow.
Coming home late at night, you're dumb drunk. I'm not putting it in the garage or the shed. I don't want to make noise. Just leave it behind the house. Gone next morning.
See you at the bike shop.
That's brutal. Oh man, see you at the bike shop. Yeah, for sure. Who else didn't answer this? Anyone else got an answer? Sassy?
Yeah. I didn't answer. Whenever I see a flag, like if there's just if it's available to grab and wave, I gotta wave it. Like if it's one of those smaller, sort of little novelty flags, I gotta grab it. Make sure you can wave it. It's very important to me. Very important. That's what flags are made for, and I can't just let it lie. It's just flags are meant to be waved, just like my man Kanan said, waving a flag.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah.
I was like, he's gonna say this, right? Come on, get there.
Yeah, man.
You have a flag on the front of your house, though, do you? You're not one of those people. I'm not judging those people. I'm saying, do you have a flag on the front of your house? You don't.
Yeah,
right?
I do. I have like 5.
No, you don't.
No, I don't.
No.
I just wanted you to judge me. No, I don't.
No.
No.
You don't want to get a Ryerson flag out there, Tass?
You can't really wave those. Not as fun. I mean,
big
they do
ones.
wave in the wind, I guess, but you can't really climb your house and get on there like you're, climbing a mountain, pry it off and wave it. It's not as fun. I like flags that you can wave, but yeah, I don't think a Ryerson flag has ever been made.
No, come on. You don't think you can buy a Ryerson flag? I'm gonna buy you one.
No.
I'm getting you one. Cool. If I buy you one, would you put it? No way. I would.
Would you hang
If
it
you
from the
bought
top
me
of your
one, I
house?
wouldn't hang it. That's for sure.
That'd be really weird. Yeah, I'll never be American like that.
Yeah.
I'll never have my alma mater flying high on my house. I don't think so.
There's one right around where I used to live at the same complex as Trey. There's a Clemson right around, or Auburn. Is it Auburn right around the corner?
There's a ton of those, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we got an Auburn down here. There's also not too far away from where I live, a Toronto Blue Jays flag, Tass.
Oh,
And
yeah, that's right.
It does look waveable.
Yep. Oh, get the pennant.
Here we go.
That's
Here we
gonna
go.
Wave a pennant. Go to him, JD.
Oh, there we go. Oh, that's
That's
nice.
just a big old classic.
Can you wave it? No
Nah,
way.
Can't wave a pennant.
Too
Pennant.
stiff.
Can't wait.
No, pennants are. It's disrespectful to wave a pennant.
Everybody knows that.
These are stiff. I also right behind it. I have what is this one?
Oh, Jesus.
A 90,
Signed.
92 world champs. Yeah. Signed by every single Blue Jays. These are real signatures. They're absolutely not real
Yeah,
signatures. There's Todd Stottlemyre. There's David Cohn. There's Alfredo Griffin. There's Roberto Alomar. Pat Tabler. Some guys.
Nice.
Cool.
All right.
Got a
Next
John
question.
Wallace on there.
Oh, what is this, JD? That's the flag for Ryerson
the
University. That's
Ryerson
not a flag.
I googled flag, Ryerson University flag, and this popped up.
It is.
That's a towel. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hanging on a wall.
I can. I have a towel hanging behind me on a wall. It's still a towel. It's not a flag.
Yeah. Can't call that a flag, JD.
All right.
Sorry,
next one.
man. That's Toronto Blue Jays. I'm gonna go see that one.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, Trey. Yeah.
Oh yeah, little known secret around the Atlanta area. Some people know about it, some people don't. I can get you in, Tess, to look at it from outside.
That's a nice street, actually. That's a beautiful street. to
Really
run
nice
down.
street.
Yeah, nice
Yeah,
old trees.
Really nice.
Okay. Next one. No dunks. In Sackville, Nova Scotia, we say no layups or we knock you on the ground. We're a little rough and tumble. I have followed you guys all the way through your many variations. Mentors to me. After listening to your last beach Steppin about the chief, Robert Parrish, I just had to tell you this story. I ran into the chief in a liquor store in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. He glided through the front door in a 7-foot black cloak. For real. He signed a Celtics jersey that I happen to be wearing and one of the many balls I keep in my car at all times. I asked him how he felt when he gave Bill Laimbeer a 2-piece and a biscuit. He looked around to make sure nobody was listening and said, satisfied. My question, when is the last time you did something out of frustration and felt satisfied? Shout out to my protege from my local outdoor court that made the first appearance in an NBA game by a Nova Scotian, Mr. Nate Darling, signed by one Michael Jordan of the Charlotte Bobcats. Love big beefy thighs, lobster. That is from Tim C. Great Robert Parrish story there. The Chief in Sackville, Nova Scotia. What the heck was he doing there? But sounds like a nice guy. Yeah, maybe yeah.
Coaching on the east coast of Canada.
Maybe. Yeah. It's a good guess. Good guess. But Leigh, last time you did something out of frustration, felt satisfied.
Yeah, just quickly, that Robert Parrish clip is great because they're sort of going for a rebound and he just lays into Bill Laimbeer. And I don't think he even gets called for a foul on the play. He just beats him up. He'd be ejected immediately in today's game. But back then, I think it's more just like, all right, he was a bit frustrated. Let's just play on. And everyone goes on with it. But yeah, so really, I've been... assembling furniture is never fun, right? It always looks easy, but it often isn't. But in the last few months, I had a bit of a good run with a table, a cabinet, a desk, a chest of drawers, and picked up a bed last week from a very well-known Swedish furniture firm.
Furniture firm.
I'm trying to
furniture firm. Ikea Sons.
Yes, I think every single person has assembled some form of IKEA furniture in their life, and I felt pretty confident about this one. But it went downhill pretty quickly, pretty fast. The first couple of pieces went in okay. Then I had to screw in you put in drawers, the thing that you screw into the side, I don't know what you call them, those things. Anyway, so I had to screw them in. And it got to a point where I was screwing in, right? And I got to that point where you're just like, it doesn't seem to be going in any further, but it also is not coming back out. And I'm like, have I got the right screw? And there's different bags. And I'm like, yeah, it's the right screws. So I started going. And then I was like, oh my God, maybe it's just the one screw. So I went to the other ones, tried to tighten those, same sort of thing. Get to that point where you're like, come on, man, go in further. You can't, I won't be able to push the drawer in if you don't go in further. And you're twisting and twisting and twisting. Your hand starts hurting. You're getting really, really frustrated. That happened on 4 different screws. Look at this. Look at that. I don't know how well everyone can see that right now, but look how just warped they become there, right?
They're very
so then I tried to unscrew them out. I'm like, all right, I've got to figure something out here. But the last screw I couldn't unscrew out with the screwdriver, so I had to get the pliers out to try to get it out. But it was in so tight I couldn't get the pliers out, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm just going crazy here. So I ended up pulling that whole the arm thing off. Pull it up, break off, because I was like, I'm going back to IKEA. I'm going back in. I want to see that IKEA guy who's on TikTok the other day. I want to pick which one I was. That was one of the most amazing TikToks, by the way. But I got so frustrated, and when I pulled it off finally, I was like, that felt actually good because I was going to persist with it. You should, but I was like, there's clearly something off here with these screws. So I did take it off, and I went back in. And they've reordered me some new ones. And the lady there was really nice, actually. She's like, oh, wow. What screwdriver are you using? I think I said, I've got a Stanley, quality too. Stanley's are good quality screwdrivers. Yeah, I said, you want to see it? And she said, no, it's fine. And I said, what's going on with these screws? I mean, IKEA used to be pretty good. And these ones are all warped. And she just sort of said, yeah, I know. It just happens.
What's going on with this law firm? This place used to be like a go-to place when I got in an accident for driving on the wrong side of the road. What the hell's going on here now?
So anyway, I've got now half a bed made, and hopefully by this weekend I get the replacement screws. I'm going to have another go, but if it doesn't work, I'm taking it back. I'm saying,
hey, Leigh, we figured out what the fuck you're driving over all the time. It's all these shitty screws.
No, these ones have got the flat end, so they won't pierce into your tire there. But oh my God, because it's like
Like,
Yeah.
we gotta hear from Willy Wonka or whatever.
True story, bro.
Oh man. So
That's
anyway,
my favorite Leigh thing I think of all time now. What kind of screwdriver are you using, sir? Oh, just Stanley.
I've got to stand.
it's a Philip head, not a flat
Oh,
Stanley.
Okay, I think that's what they're
Yeah.
looking for.
Yeah.
Well, because
Stanley.
often with
Brand.
often with with IKEA they include a little recommended screwdriver.
It's usually an Allen key. Yeah.
No, but these aren't Allen
Oh,
keys. Like these are proper. They're weird ass screws. Because I went into Home Depot and Ace. I thought I'm not waiting a week to fix this bed because Oscar's like, I want my new bed, and I'm like, all right. I went in there, but you can't get those specific screws because they've got a little lip on the end, so the wheel won't go in there. So. So I picked up a couple of things for the green egg while I was in there. Anyway,
Can anybody beat the Lee Ellis story there? Anyone want to take a chance at that one? When was the last time you did something out of frustration and felt satisfied? Trey, Tass, JD.
No,
I got nothing. Nothing's gonna beat
not
that.
that good.
I had an answer, but I totally forgot about it. I mean, it was like 10 minutes ago when I realized, it was a while ago, so I deleted it, but I can't recall it. No chance.
All right, one more email here, and then we'll wrap it up.
One more for the road. Hey,
Yeah.
Dunk Buds. I'm a longtime fan from the starters days and never miss a podcast. Thank you. I was listening one day through my headphones, working on my laptop next to my wife on the couch. When the Big Beef Classic dropped, I thought how much I love that tune and Trey killing it. When I looked at my wife shortly after, she was staring at me looking very confused. I asked what was wrong, and she said, "What the hell was that?" I asked, "What?" And she said, out of nowhere, I started dancing and flailing like I was having a seizure. I told her she was insane because I did no such thing. I know what my body was doing, and I was in full control. A few days later, the same thing happened again. When she asked what I was listening to, I played her the Big Beef segment, and then I noticed that I actually did start to dance and do to the funky grooves. It should be noted that I'm very tall, white, and only semi-coordinated. My nickname in high school basketball was the Big Albino. I realized then that
What a nickname.
I realized then, not the vanilla gorilla, the Big Albino. I realized then that I have been classically conditioned to dance whenever I hear the Big Beef coming, and I was totally unaware of it. So my question is there anything that you did that you weren't aware of as a response to a certain stimulus and only aware after someone brought it to your attention? Thanks for making me look silly and not even knowing it. Pop it, lock it, crump you guys. That's from Dalton and Valparaiso, Indiana.
Wow, Pavlovian response to the Big Beef jam.
The Big Albino getting funky anytime he hears the Big Beef. I'm not surprised. Certainly an infectious song. I can't help dancing as well. As for me, something you aren't aware of, I'm aware of the response, but I don't think I will ever be able to hear the number 69 again without immediately thinking the word nice.
Yeah.
Like, it's just become part of the lexicon nowadays to the point where, like, Richard Jefferson says it on the Nets broadcast regularly, and everybody's just like, okay, fine, nice, you know? So at this point, I think it's fair. I can remember learning about 69 at a play, the Paramount Theater in Aurora, Illinois, circa third grade. No way I thought that, like, 25 years later, this would be something that just, like, comes up casually and everyone's like, nice. But I think it's around forever. So, yeah, keep it coming with the nices in the stream team, of course.
Okay. Yeah, I saw people dropping a few nices out there right
nice
now.
here.
There
Yeah,
you go.
thank
There
you,
you
thank
go.
you,
There
thank
you
you.
go. Well done, everybody.
Very nice.
Well done.
Excellent.
That's a good answer.
Tass, you got an answer to this one?
No, I guess the next evolution is 49 because 49 is not that far from 69. It's there. Some things happen with the 49 position as well. But no, I don't really have a good answer to that. But that is a great answer because it was slightly taboo at the beginning, but now it's just
No, everybody's
everybody's
decided it's okay now.
I think it's fine.
totally,
Yeah. Do you have another answer, Leigh, for this as we start wrapping this up?
Nah, not really.
No?
I think 69 is a good one. It's just, I want to hear it on the call when like it's a Mike Breen or someone on the call. Someone who you sort of,
Wow.
yeah. Like someone who's just
that was
so,
for Tass's thing falling.
yeah.
Yeah. That was Mike
geez,
Breen. Somebody said Mike Breen. Somebody made a loud noise and then
Yeah.
Trey drops a bang on it. Well done. That was not scripted.
Yeah, I totally thought that was JD playing an audio drop. That was literally something falling behind me. Wild.
Oh, everything's okay. Everything okay? The mattress didn't fall. A duvet. Bob's
No,
okay.
it's just that poster. The poster fell right behind me. Anyways,
Oh.
bang.
Oh, okay.
It's getting humid here in the south.
It
You
is.
can't run from it. I'm inside, but you can't run from the humidity. No way. No way.
No
It's
way,
not
guys.
the dry season.
That's why we're on the beach. It's a little cooler on the beach reading your emails and tweets, and keep them coming. NoDunks@theathletic.com.
Well, you
Tweet 'em
mentioned,
in.
sorry to
At
interrupt
Winnipeg.
you,
Yeah,
Steve. Tass, you mentioned how it's humid. I tweeted this earlier today. Will it be weird if we're doing podcasts wearing tank tops? You know, like arms out, keeping it cool inside. Is it weird to see somebody's arms on a podcast? I guess is the question I'm asking you. Shirtless, I can see that you would maybe say, maybe a little too far, Trey, but a tank top seems like it could be in play.
Well,
Yeah, I think so.
as I think Leigh pointed out on Twitter in a sort of a response or a reply, Matt Austin already went full topless on a happy hour one
That's
night.
a great point.
He was looking great. That's topless. We're talking about just going like tank top season over here. So no, I think that's totally fine. You want to wear tank tops next time we're on the beach at least?
Great place to
Maybe a good
debut a
start.
tank top for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
I think it would probably be weirder to see a button-up shirt. Like I consider wearing
Okay,
a
good
button-up
point.
shirt.
Oh, so did I, Tess. I thought about it one day. Put it on. I was like, this looks stupid.
It doesn't feel right.
No.
No.
That's so funny you said that. I was like, I'm going to wear a button-up shirt on this show. And I put it on. I was like, this looks ridiculous. I don't know why. This is all we wore when we were on TV, but this is silly. And yeah, it's obviously not as comfortable as a t-shirt or a sweater. So, all right, tank tops next time we step on the beach. So get your questions in for next week's Beach Step podcast. NoDunks@theathletic.com. Tweet them in @NoDunksInc. Leave them in the YouTube comments. Back tomorrow on Thursday with Tass's What You Need to Know, the mini NBA recap up very early for you. We got the Daily Show at 10 a.m. Eastern on Thursday. And then tomorrow night, NBA Happy Hour. We're going to play a bunch of games, a little GeoGuessr maybe, some Sporcle quizzes. Who knows what else in store? Might pop some weird F1 card packs. We'll have a blast. Again, we'll probably go around 8 p.m. Eastern, but we'll let you know. And just make sure you subscribe to No Dunks on YouTube so you know exactly when we're live. You get that little notification. It's fantastic. All right, guys. Good seeing you. See you tomorrow. Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, good seeing you. See you tomorrow. Also, the best part about an Apple Watch is that it does less than an Apple iPhone.
Embrace the day, people.
You could